everyone, and welcome to Rob's Rogues in the Batman universe. And today we're taking a look at the 1966 Batman classic TV series, The Fine Feathered Fiend, the Penguin. Okay, I'm going to tear up my vocal cords doing that. This is the last 1966 figure that I have. I would say currently at the moment, I would kind of like to pick up the Riddler and the Penguin. Initially, I said during my Batman and Robin review, I'm only going to pick up just Batman and the Robin, Batman and Robin. I bought Catwoman for $7 last year at Christmas, actually, 2 Christmases ago now, on Amazon, so that was a really good steal. I had a defect in one of my multiverse figures, and people are like, surprise, but they sent me a voucher, Mattel did, which I've got a lot of vouchers just from having little QC problems here or there, or some big QC problems. So I was able to get Penguin here for basically for free, just a voucher to kind of repair or be able to replace the multiverse figure. And since it was actually Robin that I had a problem with, he was virtually impossible to find in stores, so I picked this up instead since Robin is just really hard to find. I think I just said that. We will take a look at the package here. Very much it's the same package all the way throughout, with the exception of Robin's holy gimmick, holy nick of time. Last one was kind of based more towards Catwoman. I don't think nick of time has anything to do with the Penguin. But this changes on every card depending who the villain is. Same card all the way through. Included is a Mayor Penguin backdrop that could be used on the display base, and I would assume another portion of the Bat Cave, like diorama, if you will probably be on the back of this card. The other figures in the wave are the Joker, the Riddler, Batman, Catwoman, and Surf's Up Batman. Again, no Onion Babies, and Robin is not available as a single-carded figure, which I think is really kind of a bummer. Granted, you get a cool little display base buying Batman and Robin as a 2-pack, but, it is what it is, as they say. That fine feathered fiend, the Penguin, is at it again, but never trust a red herring. If something seems fishy, the monocle-wearing mayhem maker will have something to do with it. With his tricky umbrella weapons, this greedy, cold-blooded villain gives the Batman a run for his money. Alright, so let's take the Penguin out of the package, and we'll get a closer look at the 1966 classic Batman TV series, the Burgess Meredith-inspired Penguin. Alright, here is the Penguin out of package. Before we get onto the figure, we'll take a look at the couple other accessories other than the umbrella, which we'll get to in just a second. Here is the card that comes with it. It's on a hard piece of cardboard, or card stock, rather. Penguin running for the mayor in the 1966 TV series, which, ironically, that was a theme used again in was it 1992 or 91? I think 91. Batman Returns movie with Danny DeVito as the Penguin. And on the back is another part of the Batcave you could use as a Batcave diorama, which I was kind of hoping was going to at least pair up with Catwoman's, and it sadly doesn't. I imagine this is probably the latter portion. Looks like it's kind of off to the side, so probably one of the final pieces put on here. His says probably, I'm guessing that's what that is, but this will sit down in there just like that, I believe, if I get it set in right. So there we go. Maybe. There we are. That's a little more straight. So, nice little display base. I think he could kind of use it. He's kind of balancing. I have him leaned forward just a little bit on my little display base here, a review top table, as it were. So, a little bit of tapping on the table, I think he'll kind of topple over. As he is kind of back heavy, just due to the proportion that he is. Sorry about that. He does come with one other accessory. Of course, he has to come with an umbrella, and it's detailed pretty good. I mean, there's not much you could do with it just being an umbrella, but it is nice for what it is. And it sets in either hand rather well. This is the hand it was in the package. As I drop it, I don't think it's a review unless I drop something. It looks like it also could set in this hand a little bit more just by the way it's sculpted. So let's see if I can get it in there. I believe this is the hand that they are kind of intending for it. He does hold on to it a little bit better in this hand. As you can kind of see, it's got more of a gripping type motion. So we're getting away from the light here. It's a little more of a gripping type of emotion there. How many times can I say a little bit of a gripping type of emotion? You see that he has his classic cigar, as he would have in the TV series, or his cigarette that's on the end of the cigarette holder, which I was kind of surprised it's not white here, to kind of denote that. It looks like he's just chewing on a straw, but I think a little bit of just probably some white out. I have some like white markers. Could probably paint the tip of this white, and it'll actually look like it's supposed to. So probably just an oversight, or maybe they're like, well, in case a kid is getting this, we don't want to really make it look like a cigarette. So looks like he's, I don't know, got something growing out of the side of his mouth. But oh well. Let's get on to the articulation. First, let's get into the head real quick. I always jump into the articulation a little too soon. It doesn't... I was a little bit more forgiving with the Catwoman figure, saying, oh, look, it kind of represents Julie Newmar. This is Penguin-esque. I mean, you could tell it's a penguin. He's got the long nose. He's got the monocle. Kind of the way that he's, clenching his teeth to hold on to his cigar, or a cigarette, rather. And it's really kind of bent. I'll kind of have to work on that a little bit. But to be able to say, well, who does this look like? I don't think you're going to pull Burgess Meredith right out of your hat, or like, oh, it's the guy from Rocky. I don't think you're going to get that either. But I mean, you could still tell it's supposed to be the Penguin. Maybe not Burgess Meredith Penguin, but then again, it's Mattel. Had this been made by DC Collectibles, I would almost guarantee the likeness would be a little bit more spot on for some of these. But I'm still glad to have them, and glad that the 66 Batman TV series is out of litigation, that we can start enjoying some products from the series. Now let's get on to articulation. His hat does stay on, so it does not come off. I know sometimes they'll give the Penguin the ability to take the hat off and on. He always had the hat on in the TV series. Some of the Arkham City and Arkham Asylum Penguin figures, not Asylum, but Origins, you could take the hat off and on, but I think it's just one of those, you're always going to want to put the hat for the Penguin on. His head does turn left and right. There is no up and down, there is no back and forth, no tilt. It's just a straight side-to-side turn. So it would have been nice to have a little bit of articulated head to be able to look up or look down. Being that he is short, maybe to get him to look up towards Batman, but that's fine, neither here nor there. The jacket is soft and pliable like a cape, or like the other suited action figures that Mattel would make. The arms are on a nice ball and socket with the little disc motion in the middle. The arms do go up 90 degrees. Let's back it out a little bit here, Rob. He does turn at there's a bicep. I mean, that's really tight there. A bicep swivel here, which kind of looks funny when you go sideways. Like, wow, you really broke your arm there. Bends singly at the elbow and does turn little bit. There's a little bit of movement at the wrist, but due to the way the cuff is, it's really stopping a full rotation. No ab crunch, but he does have, which appears to be, yep, there is the waist swivel, so he can turn. Has the T-jointed legs, which Penguin can get into a nice split there. So the jacket, coattails don't get in the way. He can get into the splits. Not that the Penguin is going to be in a hi-ya kicking motion, but it will help some posability. The Penguin can sit in the Batmobile, even though with his coattails, because there was an episode in the 66 TV series where the Joker, where the Penguin did take the Batmobile, as we drop the Penguin here. He bends at the knee. He has a nice knee bend there, and has a... he's supposed to have the pivot at the ankles, but these are frozen on mine, or they just have the inability to move. Not that I'm going to have the Penguin do any, chorus line, start spreading the news, kicks or anything like that. So what we're going to do here real quick, let's actually, we may have to use the base for the Penguin. He has 2 peg holes. I'm kind of getting a little ahead of myself here. He sets on that rather well. Maybe. Don't think he really wants to peg in there. There we go. So he may really benefit from the stand. Well, let's bring up Batman and Robin, and just for good measure, a Catwoman as well. Now, granted, the Penguin is on a little taller base now, so he can stand up. So he does appear to be taller than Batman, but you get Batman up here on about the same plane that the Penguin is, and Batman is taller. The hat does make the Penguin look a little bit taller, but he's more the height of Robin, as it were. This 66 Batman line from Mattel is really kind of cool. Again, this all happened kind of right around for the 75th anniversary of Batman, and this was a TV series that, even though it was made in the 60s, I kind of grew up with it in the 80s off and on when it was in rerun, and now having the Blu-ray box set that I got for Christmas, and then was able to pick up some of these other figures. It's really kind of cool to go, this was kind of sort of my first introduction to Batman. The cartoon series were kind of first in the 70s and early 80s, but as far as live action would go, this is the first introduction of seeing Batman and Robin on any screen of any type. Final thoughts on this guy. I think he's really pretty cool. Yes, the likeness for Burgess Meredith is really not there, but you put him up with the other figures, you obviously get who he is. He's short and pudgy. They got his proportion right. He does kind of hunch over a little bit like Burgess Meredith played him. The sculpting is done rather well on these figures. Seeing that Mattel was coming to an end of their DC Universe Classics line, and then hearing that they're going to do the 66 series action figures, or figures for the action, action figures for the TV series. Boy, I can't even hardly talk today. I was starting to wonder, what's the quality going to be like on these, since Mattel was kind of on their downswing. I think they're really kind of knocking these figures out of the park. I don't know if I'm going to be picking up any more. I'd like to pick up the Joker, but the only one I can seem to find is the Surf's Up Joker with the surfboard, and I'm not really one to pick that up. The price is really varying on all these figures. At the Walmart I picked these up at, they were $9.99, and my voucher was for $12, so I was able to get this guy for free, basically. But I have seen them as high in Toys R Us as $19.99, $20. So I don't think they're $20 figures. I mean, they're nice and they're decently sculpted, but seeing how you can go to Target or Walmart and get them for $9.99, I think that's your best bet if you're still a fan of a 66 TV series. And I just think it's a different type of a Penguin to have in your collection. And it doesn't scream 1966. I think you can move these figures in and out of your Batman collection. So if you never got a DC Universe Classics Penguin, you might be able to slide this guy in, and he'll work well for your Batman action figures. So today we'll be taking a look at the 1966 Batman Classic TV series action figure Penguin from Mattel. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues and the Batman Universe signing off, saying we will see you guys next time.